What's up, you fat entitled bastards?
You bastards. We're back for another one.
Trash money.
He's gonna do this throughout
Trash
the entire
moolah,
episode.
baby.
Trash moolah, baby. That's all he did last night.
Dookie smearing on the track.
You stupid. You stupid. You stupid.
Straight feces on that track.
You stupid. You stupid.
So, we're gonna skip the formalities for now of like, what are you doing? What am I doing to talk about this thing? I have to talk about it. He has to. So, for anybody who doesn't know how I live my everyday life, I spend my day pretty much searching the darkest parts of the internet for the craziest shit anyone has ever seen. If you have a video that you think is funny, 9 times out of 10, I probably have already seen it. So, in my depths of the underworld of searching the internet, I came across somebody we knew and discovered... I already knew that he was, quote, a producer, and you can't see my air quotes right now, but they're going on pretty hardcore.
Oh, Jesus.
He lives that street money life, right? or so he says. Just because you flip some dime bags, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm new money. Trash money, yo. So, I discovered that he had a rap. Like, he made a track. It's only like 2 minutes long, and it is the most trash shit I have ever heard.
I'm saying the beat sounds straight.
I mean, it sounds like my man got a MacBook for Christmas.
Oh, it's fucked up.
Did I tell you I caught one of the kids in the store using one of the all-in-one Macs to like play with the beat system thing?
Stop.
He was just playing with it just to see what it did.
Right.
Yeah, he was just fucking with it when he was off and the store was closed and he was just fucking with it. But it was what inspired me to go find this, right? And so I just happenstanced across it. And so under deeper research, all I gotta say is, I ain't got no old money. But I got a lot of new money.
What in the fuck?
And it started when you start wondering about the trash money cartel. So
he calls them the trash money cartel. Man,
trash money.
Quit hating on these cats that want to be rappers, dog. I mean, have you not seen the last couple of motherfucking, what is it, double XL freshman class
that's
these
not
days?
rap.
I mean, this cat could make double XL one day just because.
Trash money.
You could, man.
So my thing is, I just noticed a similarity between him looking like Cross-Eyed Easy with an extra foot.
He did not just call this man Cross-Eyed Easy, bro. Jesus Christ. You fucking savage.
And that there were some similarities between the way they look, sans the cross-eyed and the gap teeth, and my dude looks like the Bizarro World version of Weezy.
What, son?
He looks like the Bizarro World version.
Oh my god.
It's like if there was like a Goblin World.
I'm saying I couldn't even play Destiny right because I had this motherfucker playing this shit in the background talking about some
straight garbage on the beat.
Straight garbage on the beat. He's straight up here. Trash money records. The whole time.
Trash money.
I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
So I opened up my day when I woke up. I sent him trash money.
Yes,
and
that's exactly what he
gifts.
sent me.
One of a flaming dumpster fire, the other one of a dude doing a snow angel in money.
Yeah, in money. Why? Why?
But there's so much shit going on right now with guys who like make their own raps and stuff like that. I can respect that. You know what I mean? Whatever. I do a stupid fucking podcast.
Oh, we do a stupid fucking podcast. And by all means, dude, if you want to rap about us and that shit, we don't give a fuck, honestly.
You know, and I'm not saying that they can't have bars. I'm just saying specifically, this dude does not. I counted the lines in his song, and there's only like 8 lines in the whole song, and he says them about 14 times each.
I mean, like, is he like... You said he was a producer, so could he be, like, you know, recording a hook?
No.
Or is it really just his song?
It's his song.
Okay.
The hook is the old money, new money shit. Ooh.
You know what? I'm not even going to blame him. You know why I'm not going to blame him, dude? You know why I'm not? I'm blaming Double XL. You want to know why I'm blaming Double XL? You want to know why? Because we got motherfuckers out here like 21 Savage. And then we got what's my man? I got with the fucking red dreads,
$4 in my bank account.
Yes, just like what? I blame Double XL. That's what I blame. I blame the music industry.
I got 1, 2,
for making
3, 4 Skittles in my mouth right now.
I blame them. I blame them. Like
Gucci gang.
No,
rap is so trash right now, man.
I don't want it. I mean, like
there are some good cats out there,
but you have to go out and actually find them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like the funny part about it is that Logic's been out for a while, right?
Yeah, but
Double XL put out a freshman class that Logic should have been in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he wasn't in, and it was just like, if you can sit up there and tell me that any of them can out battle Logic right now, you're fucking crazy.
I don't know many humans, period, that could out battle Logic.
It ain't a lot. And that kid's got some.
He's starting to get real famous now because he had that pop
song.
Like
even then though, I mean, like, yeah, he got signed to a label. He's still doing his own shit.
Well, I don't really give a shit because his big thing was that he didn't want to go label for like the longest time.
Exactly.
And now that he did go label, he's starting to get real famous because he got that song on the radio now, and people are starting to catch into his old stuff. But like people like us who just kind of scour the world for music that is enjoyable. We've known about Logic for a minute now, but that's like the most hipster thing that will ever come out of this podcast. Like, I knew about him before he was famous.
Yeah, so that was about it. You know what I mean?
But like, I'll come across weird shit like that though. It's like some of the best rappers like I can think of that came out within the last 4 or 5 years. Are people that you wouldn't expect to be like a Jewish cat who just raps about
a Jewish cat from Philadelphia.
Let me smash.
Yeah, a Jewish cat from Philadelphia that went to school out in California and then quit his job out in California to go do an audition for Snoop, and then Snoop signed him to a label.
And he's just a white guy.
He's just a regular white dude. He's literally a regular white dude.
Logic, since he was like 16 years old.
He's been through the shit. He's been through the gut.
Destroying bars.
Yeah.
Getting on Sway and then killing the 5 Fingers of Death.
Yes.
And guys who you just wouldn't expect to be great rappers. And so I actually came across this group of weirdos called the Odd Squad family. And there's 2 guys in that group specifically who I find to be absolutely awesome. It's Nubs, who is this white dude who has no legs or arms. And then there's a albino black guy named Snowman. And I'm not saying... I'm telling you, dude. Hold on, I'll pull up a picture for you.
Jack Frost.
Hold on, I'll pull up a picture of Odd Squad family for you.
Oh, man. They call him Snowman.
He calls himself Snowman.
Hey, man, that's cool, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's embracing himself. You know what I mean? I feel him. He do what he want.
This is the Odd Squad family. Yeah. I don't know what the black guy's gimmick is, but I think he has a third nipple or something like that. Like, that's the joke. But no, I'm not saying that their raps are great or anything like that, but they do have some pretty good songs.
Yeah, the albino black dude is totally black, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cat's black as fuck.
The only thing is he's albino.
Yeah. Yeah, my man's got gray hair and all that shit, like with a fro. That shit's crazy.
So, and he got the pink eyes, too.
Really?
Yeah, negative melanin.
Wow.
Melanin.
Yeah, my man can't walk out in the sun at all.
Straight.
He does all his videos inside.
Sunburn.
He gotta have that. What is it?
SPF 1 million. Same shit I gotta wear.
Yeah.
I only got 2 colors. It's pasty white or lobster. There is no in between. Like
pasty white right now. There's no sun outside.
So, but they make some decent music. It's not the greatest, but it's decent. You know,
it's bearable listening to. You know what I mean?
You were trying to get funny with it, like when I first started playing it. You're like, oh, look at this guy. And then you started listening to the song. You're like, I want to hate it.
Cat had bars, man. I mean, like literally, like I can listen to that. Like if you had not shown me a video, I mean,
it was
decent rap. So
all I'm saying is, Trash Money Cartel is out of control.
Trash Money Cartel. He calls it a cartel. I'd like to know the other members of this cartel.
One of my dudes wears a fucking Sound Village Naruto headband. He told me he was trying to genjutsu the beat.
Genjutsu on the beat. Genjutsu on the beat.
Which you want to make fun of, but with the...
No, but I mean, I hear his stuff is actually pretty good.
Rap community is crazy about Naruto.
Pretty good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, like I from the outside looking in, it's fucking hilarious. Right? Just... my man is doing the worst fucking cosplay trope, like the fucking kids who go through the mall with the fucking Akatsuki jackets and the headbands and shit. He's wearing a fucking Sound Village headband to his rap shit. But at the same time...
he said that's not the only headband he has. Mm-hmm. So he says he has the other ones too.
Like a collection, but that's the one he wears for his rap shit.
Yeah.
But as funny as that is, it's kind of fucking smart.
It is, though.
Because, like, that's... actually, like, you're rapping with Sound like it's kind of...
It's catchy.
It's kind of
it
decent
works.
Gimmick.
I mean, you're Sound Village, you're rapping, I get it.
But it's trash, though. No. Yeah, he's fine. Like, his shit is okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that the gimmick is still trash, though.
It's funny as fuck. The gimmick's funny as fuck. But I mean, hey, man, if it works for him, it works for him.
I'm not saying I disrespect it. I'm just saying it's fucking... I mean, I want to see the faces of people when he gets up there with that headband, first off. Just be like,
bet you it's funny.
Like, if you're going to wear that headband, your shit better be fire.
Yeah, it better be fire.
Because, damn. Just damn.
Which I mean, like, I hear stuff isn't that bad. Next time I talk to him, I'm actually going to see if I can go somewhere to listen to it or ask him where he posts his stuff.
And Rue with his dirty highlighter looking head.
Man, we ain't talking about the black Eminem, dog.
So I told him the other day.
That's a shout out for you, though, Rue.
No, I fucks with Rue. I've heard him spit some bars before, and it's decent. It's decent. It's not bad.
I like Rue's confidence though. He's like, I'm better than your favorite rapper. That's what he barks around going doing that. I love his confidence though. Rue, you trash though.
So I told him the other day so my man has this haircut where it looks like he dyed his hair blonde, or he tried to, but it didn't like stick real well. So it's not even like cheetah print. It's like homeless bobcat kind of look.
He gonna fuck us up. He gonna be out. He gonna be salty.
I hit him with one last joke for 2017 about his hairdo. I was like, I got one last joke for you before I let you go. He's like, what? It's like, you went in trying to look like Chris Brown, but came out as Chris Frown. He's like, I just fucking hate you, dog.
When we were messing with him about the Justin Bieber jackets, the Justin Bieber tour jacket, and he was like, "It's hot dope. It's hot dope." I was like, "No, motherfucker, you wearing a Justin Bieber tour jacket right now? No."
Dookie smearing on a track. That's the Trash Money Cartel right now. That's who it is. And anybody else I figure out that I know that like Dave Vito.
Stop.
You remember Dave Vito?
Yeah.
Dave Vito, part of the Trash Money.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he was with the Christian rap. Christian rap.
Heaven or hell, make a decision. I'm a Jesus freak. Jesus freak. Trash moolah, baby. So, that's the Trash Money Cartel.
Young trash, baby.
Oh, shit. So, what you been up to?
Oh, man. Well, you know what I've been up to. Christmas just passed. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Happy New Year to our fat entitled bastards out there. Happy New Year.
I told
Christmas,
my guys
whatever that is.
I was going to fire people for trying to do the New Year, New Me shit.
What?
You know that stupid shit everybody does?
Oh, we forgot somebody in that Trash Cartel.
Who's in Trash Cartel?
Quaalude.
Oh, no. Quaalude Quan is the truth.
You can't even. Beat the fuck out of my dude. Beat the fuck out of
jerking it, beating it, smacking it, shooting it.
This shit is so... It's funny though. It's funny.
We straight up pull up his SoundCloud when he's not around.
I think the funniest thing about it is that when I walked in and they started playing it the first time, and I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And they were like, "It's Quaalude Quan." And I was like,
"Y'all know about Quaalude Quan?"
I was like, and they were like, and I was appalled. Like, I don't know who this Quaalude Quan is, and I listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he was on is he on Spotify? Like, what's going on with this? And they were like, nah.
You know him.
I was like, what you mean I know him? He in this building right now?
You're standing nearby him.
He's like, yeah, you standing right next to him. I look over, I'm like, he's like, I'm Quaalude Quan.
He's all proud about it.
He's proud as fuck about it too. I was like, oh Jesus. And I just looked at him, shook my head, no. And now every time I walk back there, he's like, Q, you want a t-shirt? You want a t-shirt, that Quaalude Quan t-shirt?
It's funny because his SoundCloud has more hits than we do on any episode we got.
And that's what's funny though, because like, it's just mute. It's
not even
music. And
he found out how to use an auto-tuner.
Exactly, and he's not even like saying bars or anything. He's just making crazy noises and then layering it together. And it sounds pretty decent.
It's trash. It's so trash.
It's so doo-doo.
Yeah, we can put him in the Trash Money Cartel.
The other song is... That song, though, that shit's pretty catchy. Beat the fuck out of my dick.
Beat the fuck out of my dick.
Just what? What? Why? Why? What made you do that?
Chubby chicks, ejaculation.
Yeah. Like he's got some weird names, yo. Look up Quaalude Quan on SoundCloud.
Yeah. It's fucking hilarious. And he knows the whole thing is that he says this joke, but they're trying to record that shit seriously. Like, you know, it's him and his buddy in the fucking basement trying to fucking make... they found out how to use an auto-tuner.
That damn shit, though.
He probably has. He sold t-shirts.
Say what?
Yes.
Stop.
No.
Stop.
No, I do not lie to you. When I challenged you about that Naruto headband, was I not correct?
You were correct. You're
right.
Gonna make me buy a t-shirt just so I can rep this dude so I can get him famous.
I would rep a Quaalude Quan t-shirt. I'll see if Quaalude Quan will let us intro in with his music.
That's what... that would be awesome. As a matter of fact, hell yeah, let's do that. Hell yeah.
Let's see if I can get...
No, we'll pay him. We'll pay him for that shit. I'll pay him for it.
I'll see if I can't get beat the fuck out of my dick as the
intro.
Yes,
and then we'll have that as our intro from here on
out. Then I'll have to figure out how to splice in intro music and shit like that. It'll be a fucking nightmare.
I'm sure he could tell you.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, Christmas. Fucking spectacular. My Christmas pretty much just involves me starting to drink at like fucking 7 a.m. Just like, here's your presents. Fucking open them. I'm going to my room and getting drunk. Bye.
Yeah, I had to go to, I spent time with my daughter and her mother and her family. And I hung her little TV on the wall and stuff like that.
I heard it wasn't that little.
It's not little. It's really not. It's a 40-inch for a 3-year-old. I mean, I work at a well-known electronics store, so I can get some of that stuff pretty cheap.
Better buy.
Better buy. Whack Arnold's.
Whack Arnold's. I am the manager bee.
Yeah. Oh, I love doing that to people. Is there another manager? You're looking at him.
So I've been spreading this thing around the managers and the supervisors and shit like that for whenever somebody's like, I need to speak to a higher manager than you, just literally being like, it's just me, dog. I'm the highest you can get.
I'm the highest you getting to today.
My favorite shit is like when somebody's like, I need to speak to the store manager. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Technically, I am a store manager. You said the store manager. Let's go ahead and infer that as a store manager. So let's talk about this one, though.
What's up?
Sure you heard the rumors.
What rumors?
The rumors that I yelled at a customer.
Oh, no, I didn't hear rumors. Matt. There was no rumor. Because exactly after it happened and you got off, who calls me? He does.
It finally happened.
He does. He's like, he gets on the phone. I'm like, I'm over here. I'm drinking. I'm halfway there, twisted. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it finally happened. And I was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? I yelled at a customer. I was like, for real? And you did it while I wasn't there? That pisses me off.
So what ended up happening is this dude was just like going off about like before I even got there he was mad as hell. So he's trying to tell me a story and I'm just sitting there like looking at him and I'm nodding my head and like agreeing with him, like just trying to be empathetic, and he just hits me with this, and you don't give a fuck, you just sitting there nodding your head like a dumbass. And so I'm just like, sir, we ain't gonna do that. And so he hits me again and was like, you ain't gonna tell me what I am and I'm not gonna do. I'm just like, well, it's my store and I'm telling you we're not gonna do that. And so he tries to hit me again, and so like I was like, how can I help you? I'm just return my stuff then. I can absolutely do that for you. He was like, well then do it. Okay. So I'm trying to get his order, and I'm just like, why is it taking so long? It's been like 10 seconds, right? I said, sir, and he starts cussing, right? Like, just like, fucking piece of shit, fucking dumbasses, fuck this, fuck that. I'm like, sir, we're not going to swear in my store. Don't you sir me, sir. I ain't cussing you, sir. I'm from the streets. I'm about that. I ain't about that. I ain't about that. I yelled at him. Said, no one gives a damn what you're about. so he goes to hit me again with something else like that, and I yelled at him, yelling doesn't do anything. And he just stops. So I go do his return, and I bring it back to him and hand him his receipt. So the return should be on your card in about a day or two. And he just walks out, right? And then I look back at the customers, and all sitting there like, I look at the employees, and they're like, right? And I go in the back, and the other managers are like, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that happened. And then the next day it was like worldwide news. Like, oh, Matt was out there yelling at customers and shit. Ah. He told this guy what for. So I lived about a week of notoriety as the manager who doesn't take shit from customers. And then I went right back to taking shit from customers. Well, the nature of the beast. It was the most ungratifying, gratifying thing ever.
I mean, you just got to put on that face sometimes for some people. I mean, if they come in with a good attitude, if they're acting like fucking jackasses, then nah, I ain't doing shit for you.
It is what it is, man. I still took care of the guy. Just fucking, and I probably could have got him his product. It just was on the truck.
He was a fucking douchebag.
He was super douchebag. But he wasn't about it though.
No, of course he wasn't about that. Like,
I'm about these streets. Well, the funny thing was that if he escalated any further, my hit back at him was going to be like, well, sir, I noticed a very detectable odor coming from your particular region. I'm going to call the cops, and Greensboro response time is about 3.5 minutes. So you do the math. So you could be in here yelling, but the cops is coming, and I smell that sticky.
I smell the sticky. There's something icky on you.
He was loud, man.
I'm sure.
And I don't mean about yelling. I think
that's what really blows my mind. You know what I mean? Like,
what was he gonna accomplish?
In all my potheaded years, I don't understand the whole notion of, hey, I smoke weed, but I'm gonna go in this store and act like a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? I don't see how that works.
Not with it on you.
Well, I mean, duh.
My man hotboxed his car or something like that.
He can hotbox his car all he wants to, but man, the formula of weed is fuck it. You know what I'm saying? That's the formula.
Not necessarily. I mean, I had some guys come in there with smell like real bad that would try to do some shit, and once you start getting like aggressive with the no, they're like, maybe I should calm it down. Come back when I don't smell like a greenhouse. So if you want to hotbox your car and come show your ass, that's fine. But I always reserve the right to call the police. Just saying I got a guy in here being crazy. I need you to come handle it.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
That's because common sense.
I don't know.
Common sense rules that one.
Well, I mean, like I don't even get hyped like that. I don't even get mad. You know what I mean?
Well, it's because you work in the environment. It is what it is. So, let's talk about some music you can't get out your head.
Music I can't get out of my head?
Can't get it out of my head.
Okay.
You got any songs that you got stuck in your head right now that you just can't get out?
I can't get out of my head?
Yeah.
You want to do this right now?
Yeah. Trash money.
Beat the fuck out of my dick. Like, literally, that's in my head. Just like, what?
So, I have the theme music to My Hero Academia stuck in my brain.
That song is so good.
That's just fucking in my brain, like burned in there, like can't get it out.
I don't know. I don't really have a song stuck in my head at the moment.
Would you ever have a song that just absolutely burned into your brain? Like the theme to Braveheart or something?
Oh,
like,
yeah, definitely.
Just eroding your brain away. It's like nobody liked the song from Hanson, Mbop, but it just burns its way into your into your fucking frontal lobe and you can't get it out. I don't even know what it is. It just fucking, but it fits the sound.
Nah, man, I'm like not at the moment. I don't have anything. To be honest with you, not at the moment.
What else? The song from Gladiator. That sticks in my brain sometimes. Anything from Hans Zimmer fucking burns its way into your brain.
That's funny because Gladiator was literally on like the other day in the hub.
It's amazing what doesn't get caught by that fucking program to edit shit out for us. That just makes its way through. Like the other day they were watching like 50 Shades or something like that. It's like, how the fuck did this even get on the TV?
We have HBO?
No, I'm just saying, like, it was some fucking weird shit. There was like a massive sex scene. Like, just Bob walks in and catches one of the employees watching. He's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, it's this movie. It just happens to be on. Like, huh? Just walks out. Like, what are you supposed to do?
I mean, I don't know. That's interesting though. Like the shows that be on in like. You can tell the demographics, especially what day it is. Like, if you see certain people in there, you know football's not going to be on in the break room.
That's when we come in there and take it over.
And then it's just like, it's Saturday and it's Sunday. Go home and watch this.
It's like, okay, so the playoffs are on, and you're in here watching Men in Black. Or like fucking My 500-Pound Life or some shit like that. I'll tell you what show I do fuck with, though.
What?
Live PD.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do fuck with
I think I turned the whole store on to Live PD.
I fucks with Live PD.
So, Live PD is just cops now.
The other one I turned people on to was Impractical Jokers. So
we've been watching that for years in that joint, though.
I know.
Live PD, I was watching the other day, and I caught the best episode I've ever seen on Live PD. So, it opens up with this guy whose wife calls the cops, right? She's like, he's up there drunk again. And so the cops go up there like, I'm just going to use the name Lewis because that's what sticks out in my brain right now. Like knock on the door like, Lewis, and the dogs start barking. He's like, don't shoot my dogs. Right?
Don't shoot my dogs.
Like, sir, we're not. Just come out real quick.
Don't shoot my dogs.
And he hits him with, just so you know, I know karate. Right? And they're like, okay, sir, just come on out.
Did he break out into like a karate stance?
No. It's so good, though. It's so good. The whole thing is so good.
I know karate.
And so he comes out, and he's just this fat, like, white guy, like, just fucking hillbilly dude. And they're like, sir, why are you wearing pantyhose? Because you look at he's got a green shirt on and some jeans, and he got the pot belly, but at his feet he's wearing pantyhose. He's like, well, I mean... and this thing flashes up where it's like it tells you what he's doing. It's like sometimes diabetics wear pantyhose to like help with varicose veins and shit like that.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like compression socks and shit. And he goes, but they're just my panties. Right? So they
hey man, I got diabetes, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to just manage that shit.
These are my panties.
These are my panties. Wow.
So they're like, sir, have you been drinking? And he's like, no. I was like, okay, sir, but what have you been drinking tonight? Rum, duh. So they walk him in handcuffs out to the car, and as he's going out to the car, right, he goes, once again, just so you know, no offense, but I know karate. So he hits him twice with the karate thing, right? And so right now, the cops are like fucking in the fucking SWAT
if I
suits.
saw some shit like that, I couldn't be serious as a cop, dog.
They weren't. They're fucking rolling, right? Like they got their bulletproof vests on, and they got the fucking tactical gear and shit like that. They're just fucking rolling. And so they get him over to the car, and he's being like rude as shit, right? But it's funny. So the guy takes some shit out of his pocket, and he has this vial, and he opens it up, and he starts pouring it on the dashboard, and he goes, sir, what is this? He's like, well, that there is legal for any of the Native American tribes nearby. They could get those for medicinal purposes. It's like Coke or peyote or some shit like that, right? And so they're like, okay. And so then they go in his pocket again, and they pull out some weed, and they're like, well, sir, what is this? Marijuana. Duh. And right now, every cop is fucking almost on the ground laughing. Right?
Marijuana.
Duh. And so the arresting officer's like, I don't even know. I have to quit now. Like,
I can't be arrested, man.
Like fucking, I've seen literally everything I can see now. Like there's fucking no point. I don't even know. What do I book him on?
I fucks with him though because he was real about it. It's marijuana. Duh. What you been drinking? Rum.
Duh. I know karate. Like, just straight G.
I'm a fat, drunk white guy. Trailer trash.
Then the next scene, this is like a half an hour long show, right? Then the next scene is some guys fucking popping off shots in a parking lot, right? And really? They go chasing after him, right? And so like he goes to like fucking like dip and dodge and dive out of this guy, right? And finally the cop just fucking pounds him, right? Like just tackles the fuck out of him. And so he's like, oh, I'm not resisting. So they just arrest him. And he's like, he picks him up and the handcuffs, starts walking toward the car. He's like, man, I'm fucking tired, man. He's like, I'm wearing 80 extra pounds of gear, man. How do you think I feel? Why the fuck did you take off running? I was scared. Let me smash. No run.
No run.
So, and then
Becky loves blue.
I brought you blue. No, I do not want blue. I got you yellow. She doesn't want yellow. Blue and yellow, no. So, your tail is small. So, I'm fucking... I'm watching this last bit, and this guy gets pulled over, right? And he's sitting there, he's going 85 and a 45, right? And they're like talking to him, and he's being compliant and stuff. He's like, well, why did you run, man? He was like, well, I just got out of jail 2 months ago. I really wasn't trying to go back. I just did like fucking 6 years. I'm like 23 years old. I just got out. I haven't even had a chance to live yet. And so like they're going through the stuff, and like they're like just talking to him. And then finally the cop just goes, you know what, man? I'm not going to arrest you tonight because technically I didn't light you up. Never turn on my lights. So I'm going to give you a ticket for reckless endangerment, like 85 and a fucking 45. You have to pay a big ticket, but that's it. He's like, I'm going to let you go. The guy's like, fuck, thanks, man.
For real?
Yeah, the cop was just cool. He was like, you know what, man?
Fucking blessing.
Technically, I never lit you up. When you pulled off, you started driving super fast. My lights weren't even on.
So he just pulled over.
Yeah. Well, no, he hit his lights, and then as soon as he hit his lights, he pulled over. But when he was behind him and he took off speeding, he wasn't trying to run. He just didn't have his lights on, so he might not have ever realized that was a cop car, right?
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
So the cop just gave him a ticket and let him go, right? So that was cool. And then the last part of the episode, so they fucking in like Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they pull over this guy, white kid.
Some wild shit happens out in New Mexico.
White kid, right?
Right.
And they're like, oh, well, you were speeding, like, you know, what's going on and everything like that. And the kid's like, got no license. The car doesn't belong to him, right? So they get to talk to him and everything like that, and the kid just mentions heroin, right? And they're like, well, what happened? He's like, well, I swallowed a baggie of heroin. And they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to need you to yak that shit up. He's like, I can't. So they bring out the drug dog and shit like that. Drug dog sniffing around the car, and he starts to go fucking ballistic, right? And this has been a pretty routine traffic stop to this point, right? So he's barking at shit at the back of the car. So they're searching the whole car. They can't find anything, right? And so all of a sudden, one of the guys gets the bug up his ass to drop the spare tire, right, from the bottom of the car. And they pull it out, and they cut it, and there's like fucking $700K worth of heroin bagged up in this tire. The kid was running drugs for the Mexican cartel.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're dead, bro.
Oh, they're gonna murk him in prison.
You're dead. You're dead, bro. You got caught. You're dead.
So,
you're dead.
That was like the best episode of Live PD I've ever seen.
Actually, pretty decent.
That's a great episode. That's up there with the episode of The Cops where the guy fucking goes to pull over the one guy and he tries to tip off through the woods, and then the other cop gives him the tase tackle, like the airborne tase tackle. So I just like he was, the thing was clicking before it ever made contact. Like
have you seen a video on Facebook while we're talking about cops? And it's this like black dude. And he gets like,
I'm gonna get you, bitch.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the most terrifying tase video I've ever seen.
Hilarious.
We've talked about it on the show before. First of all, I've seen every video on the internet ever. Second of all,
I'm gonna get you, bitch.
So like, it's his wife or his girlfriend is prostitute or some shit like that, and the cops are like, you gotta calm down, and they hit him with a tase, and it doesn't do shit to him. And he just looks at her and goes, I'm gonna get you, bitch. You're like, bitch, run. He gonna get you for sure.
They taste him and ain't nothing happened.
Bitch, you gotta run.
I'm saying, man, I don't know if I told you, like, in college I took, like, a Police in America class. And, like, they said you could get tased for extra credit. And I was like, fuck it, why not? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get tased.
Yeah, I've been tased before, too.
I'm not gonna get tased because they gonna tase me because I'm doing something wrong. fuck it, let me feel what this shit feels like. I almost got tased at a football game once and pepper sprayed. As a matter of fact, it was when North Carolina in 2005. I'm
gonna drink this shot.
Well, no, 2004. It was in the fall. Beat Miami by a field goal, and Carolina rushed the field and took down the goalpost. Right. So we ran on the field. Till this day, you can go on YouTube and watch that video, and you'll see my friend on ESPN and fucking.
He'll be the gargoyle flapping around.
Not me. Actually, you do see me on camera, but I'm running past the camera, and we're all in the middle. I don't even like fucking Carolina. I hate Miami, though. So, I'm out there celebrating. Yeah, fuck that. I'm actually in a Virginia Tech hoodie. They're like, you're in a Virginia Tech hoodie? I don't like Miami. Yeah! Yeah! And then, like, we're stuck in the middle, and when they bring down the goalpost, and they brought down the goalpost, we're in the middle of the field taking this goalpost. Mind you, there's cops out there that are like, stop, stop. I'm just in high school. I'm out here with these college kids. And I turn around and I see this cop with a taser. And this chick grabbed my friend's hand. And we drug us up out of there, out of the crowd. And we ran off. Crazy shit. But I took a taser. That shit don't feel good, dog. It don't feel good at all. At all.
So I did one of my buddies got one of the stun guns.
Ooh.
And then we decided we were going to do like that stupid jackass shit. Like we were in high school, what are you going to do?
Dumb.
Right? Like that's when CKY and like Viva La Bam and shit like that were going on and shit.
Bam.
Don Vito and shit.
I used to love that show though.
I've been trying to find a stream for it, but it appears that the only way you can get it is to buying it on Amazon. But it's still like $20 a season. Because like Viva La Bam and like Wild Boys and shit like that was my shit.
Oh, I love that shit.
You know, that was
what was the other one?
Jackass.
Not just Jackass. What was the other one? It was like it had like a Latin name to it. Was it I think a lot of people know what I'm talking about, dude. It's they used to play it on MTV2. It never played on MTV.
There was only Viva La Bam and Wild Boys.
No, what was that fucking shit?
Oh, you're talking about with the Swedish kids?
I believe so.
Oh, the Dudesons.
Not just the Dudesons, it was another one. It was like, what the fuck was it called? It had like I'm telling you, it had a Mexican name to it. There was another one.
Know.
There was another crazy one like that where they used to do
you're
wild shit.
You're not talking about Nitro Circus, are you?
Not Nitro Circus. It was way before Nitro Circus, but it was around the time during Wild Boys, Jackass, Bam, when all that shit was popular. It wasn't the most popular one, but it was on at the same time. Fuck, I can't remember that shit. I'm gonna figure it out. Maybe next time. Maybe next episode. Either way, move on.
Move on.
I'm gonna figure it out, and then we'll talk about it next episode.
But so we were doing stunts, and the stunt was you had to be stun gunned, right? And at the time it was just a taser, right? So I did a stun gun on my nipple. That shit sucked so bad. That shit sucked so bad. That was the same fucking show where I did a point blank shot from a air or a paintball gun, cranked to 1250 psi from about 4 feet away.
Ugh.
Yeah, it sucked. It was the time everybody was doing it, man. That was the time with fucking, like I said, Jackass, Viva La Bam, recording dumb shit and stunts and stuff. I actually started a backyard fighting league. Yeah, it was stupid, but it was called Garage Pride. So somewhere out there is this fucking video cassette that because we recorded the whole thing, right? This video cassette of me like knocking out like 12 people, like just fucking backyard brawls and shit like that.
Don't you hear this savage bastard talking about some Garage Pride?
That's what it was
called.
I bet
you they had music.
It started in like we did
probably like some heavy metal Slipknot shit.
Actually, we did intros to the videos like when they were introducing the fighters.
Are you serious?
And like you just like said their name and then you had like a theme music, right? And like some guys did like Slipknot or like Disturbed or whatever.
Was it like the
one guy did the chicken dance, which was pretty funny, and then mine was Ludacris's Move Bitch. Get the fuck out of my way.
Get the fuck out of my way.
Going 100 on the highway. You better not stop and turn on my tour bus. Danger! Danger! Trash money! Isn't fucking, what was his name? Mystical. Yeah. Mystical. Isn't he in jail for like fucking like?
I thought Mystical was out, bro.
Is he out now? I thought he was in jail for like domestic violence or some shit.
Him, C Murder, all them. I think they're out now. I believe.
I don't know. I have no idea. I thought he was in for like 20 or some shit like that.
I think he's out. I think Mystical's out.
But we can talk about this. Delicious booze.
Oof. Yeah.
So we're drinking on some brandy, which I just introduced you to.
Yeah. Grown man's wine, I want to say.
It's like
nice to sip on. As a matter of fact, all we bullshit.
What's this shit right here worth? It's only 27%, but it's 54 proof. But it's like you could just drink it. You want to keep doing peach? You want to do apple?
Let's try apple.
You got to get it from the bag, dog. Choking.
Oh?
Are you choking?
I ain't choking, bitch.
You choking?
Sorry.
We went to the stout. So, the brandy thing has been my kick lately because you could just drink on it and it's just, fucking casual booze.
I mean, you really just sip on it. You really do.
Then we picked up this fucking weird whiskey.
Yeah, like that was a shot in the dark right there. Just
the Bird Dog. It's like flavored fucking whiskeys, right? And like, I don't know how it's gonna taste. Like, it's probably gonna taste weird as fuck, but it's actually pretty good. There's like peach, apple, blackberry, and strawberry. So we opted for the blackberry, and it burns like a motherfucker. Like,
but it tastes fucking like amazing.
Once I caught a buzz though, it don't burn so bad anymore.
No, it doesn't at all. It goes down like water.
I like it. And then the brandy flavors have like different like kicks to them and shit like that. Like fucking the peaches,
like apple juice,
right? It's not bad. But I've been fucking around with some more liquors and shit like that. I know on the last show I was doing Chunky Monkeys and like fucking apple juices and shit like that. And
what was the last one that we did? That apple drink was fucking good, yo. You got that one off the Tasty Bartender too.
It wrecked the fuck out of me, dude. I was wrecked.
That shit, I was wrecked. I didn't have a hangover though.
I think I went in some like racist diatribe about how Lagertha was like perfect for white people. like fucking, I don't even like really remember. Yeah, I did. I listened to the show. I was like, ooh, that sounds bad.
Doesn't matter. I'd been Lagertha over anyway.
She's amazing.
She is.
That being said, people I've bent over. So I tell this story and nobody ever believes me, but I don't know why. I don't lie about shit. So
oh yeah.
I was like 19 or 20 or some shit like that.
Oh yeah.
And I took a trip to a training facility and I was coming back, right? And I sat next to this chick from Wisconsin.
I kid y'all not, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard. Because this shit is so, like, I don't believe it is so fucking funny.
It happened though. Like, you can't.
I can't, dude. I cannot believe. You know what? Finish.
I did.
No.
I mean,
I know you did. I'm just saying, but I mean.
So I sat next to this chick from Wisconsin and her fat friend, right? And they were visiting. I think we were in Tampa at the time, and like she was visiting, and she was only gonna be down there for like 3 days. She was cute, and like we were talking and stuff. She had this weird accent. It was fucking from Minnesota, and whatever.
Minnesota.
But so we met up in a hotel room after fucking hanging out, and we were just gonna fucking bang it out, right? Like that was the whole intention. Anybody you meet on a plane, that's like fucking there for 3 days, who says come chill, like you're just trying to bang it out. Like that's your, maybe you're away from your boyfriend or your husband or whatever. You're just trying to smash. Let me smash. So I let her smash. I didn't think this through to.
Well, you didn't think she was gonna do that though.
Well, how could you know? Like, but
exactly.
I should have known.
But you shouldn't know. Who knew?
So when you think of a Minnesota accent, right? Like you think of like just like, how do you do? Oh yeah, like fucking shit like that. Like what I didn't expect is for that to translate into sex, right? So here I am, railing this chick, and she's just like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh god, oh yeah. It's just like, I fucking defy you. I challenge you to keep a hard-on with fucking Bobby's, from Bobby. You remember Bobby's World? Bobby's mom fucking making sex noises in your ears.
Oh yeah.
Like fucking, like I had to like fantasize about like different porn while I was like just like I had to like pull out to like fucking try to get it hard again and shit like that. Like that's how distracting the oh yeah was. It's like the fucking worst. Like I like what should have taken about 15 minutes took about an hour and a half. And it was because I couldn't maintain hard. It was the worst.
Oh,
I finished though. I did finish.
Oh yeah.
And then she texted me the next day. She's like, "Hey, we should hang out." I'm like, "Oh no."
Oh no.
No, Mr. Superman, not here.
Yo, check this out. So like for the listeners that we have, you know what I'm saying? If you ever hear me doing that and rants around, it's really to annoy the fuck out of him.
It was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Oh yeah.
And he thinks it's funny.
I think it's funny as fuck.
I think it's funny too, but it's only because it's so far ago.
He's like Matt always comes up to me at work. He's like, "Yeah, man, we're fucking doing work back there." I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Just a bastard.
Oh man, it's so fucking funny.
I mean, I made some questionable choices. She was attractive too. Like, she wasn't ugly.
Well, then it wasn't questionable.
Like, but like that whole thing. Like, some guys are like accents are sexy. But like some accents are sexy. Some accents are sexy. I can tell you an accent that is absolutely not sexy.
I mean, like.
Oh yeah.
I mean.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh yeah. Oh daddy.
No, she didn't. No, she did. Stop.
I can't. I'll never forget that noise. Like,
I just think it's fucking.
It's
hilarious.
like the first time somebody smells death. Like,
oh yeah.
Like you never forget that noise. Like as soon as I hear that voice, it's like I go impotent for a month. Like just. If it was now, I couldn't do it. I couldn't maintain. But I was like 19, so like I could pretty much anything could do it. Like. You know,
I mean, the
19, way my pants rubbed the right way, could have done
like,
it.
At 19, y'all young bucks say what y'all want, but your dick rules your brain, bruh. Period.
But at 19, I had trouble maintaining wood.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing. That's.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh man.
It was the worst.
We're fucking retarded.
I'm fucking retarded, that's for sure.
I don't think so. Not if the chick was fucking attractive.
Yeah, that's what lured me in.
Well, I mean,
and then I got hit.
How would you know?
I got
unless
assassinated.
you carried that shit up that shit was gonna be like that.
I should have known though.
Did
I
you
talked
say
to her.
she text you back?
Yeah.
Fuck, I would hit that shit again. Fuck that.
Nah.
All you gotta do is put on some earmuffs, man.
Just out there with like the gun range earmuffs on, like
throw in some earplugs real quick. No, I'll tell you what.
Then you can't hear the safe word.
I'll tell you what. You could throw in some $50 Jaybird Freedoms special editions.
Yeah, but this was back in like 2005, 2006.
Well, you can throw in the earbuds from the motherfucking cell phone pack. You know what I'm saying? Them shits work too.
Not over that. She was loud too.
Oh yeah.
She was real loud.
Oh man.
I don't know if the reason why the neighbors in the hotel room didn't call the cops because she thought she wasn't watching like a hockey game or something. like fucking.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh yeah, go Detroit. Minnesota North Stars.
It would have been the Wild, the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry, I don't know hockey like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're black, so.
Hey.
But you would fuck with hockey if you watched it.
Well, I do watch hockey. I've been in a hockey game before. Actually, the first professional.
It's too bad the Hurricanes are trash.
Yeah. No, now they are. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I still love to go to a Hurricanes game. They're pretty fun.
No, hockey games are the blast, man. I used to play hockey, man.
Yeah.
It was fucking
I used to
awesome.
go to when I lived up towards DC, Manassas area. We used to go to Capitals games.
Capitals not bad.
Capitals weren't. They were bad then though.
Ovechkin.
They didn't have Ovechkin then though. They didn't have Ovechkin then. I was so young. But I mean, it was still fun to watch Capitals game. It was awesome. Went to some Bullets games when they were the Bullets and not the Wizards. That's how old I am. Sorry.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember when they were the Bullets?
Nah.
That's when they had when they drafted Kwame Brown.
Oh, I do remember that.
Before he went to the Lakers.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just needed a reference. I didn't remember it before you gave me Kwame.
Yeah. Kwame Brown was drafted by the Bullets.
Why would you change the Wizards? The Bullets is so much better.
I don't know. I mean, I think they changed ownership then, and then the.
Oh, I know why. Oh, oh, you're flying into DC? So are we. Signed Bullets. It's fucking DC was rough.
I guess that's why.
It couldn't be associated with something too accurate as to DC life. Oh, turn around and look at what I'm watching right now.
What is this show?
This is Happy.
I've never seen it.
Happy is amazing.
Oh, this is happening. I'm off
Happy,
the next 2 days too. I'm
Happy
about to binge
is amazing,
watch.
dude.
I'm about to binge watch this.
That's the doctor who just wanted to cut his dick off like pieces of salami.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's like the torture doctor, dude. This show is dope. This show is super dope. And when you watch it, you're going to realize that this is what Dark Side me would be.
Why is he holding... What?
He's a cop. He's an ex-cop.
He's an ex-cop.
Yeah.
Is he crazy?
Kinda. But the theory is that he can't die. Yeah. Like, it's based on a fucking graphic novel.
Donkey...
That's like an imaginary animal that came and found him because he's got a little... there's a little girl who's...
But that's not the point. The point is why is it the donkey from Shrek that's flying around with wings as his fairy?
It's voiced by Patton Oswalt.
So it's not like Eddie Murphy.
No. But it's a kid's imaginary friend.
It's still funny.
It's a kid's imaginary friend, right? Mm-hmm. And he came to find him because he could see him to help rescue this little girl who was kidnapped by a fucking molester Santa. Right?
Right.
And so he's trying to get this guy, Christopher Maloney, to go out there and find the kid.
Is this a movie?
It's a show.
It's a show.
Yeah, it's like an 8-9 part show.
And he can't die.
That's the theory.
That's the theory.
But the reason he can see the imaginary animal is because the imaginary animal is the fucking imaginary friend of his daughter who he doesn't know about.
Huh?
Yeah. So it's...
One day to East!
What a twist. Nice flashback.
1 day to East.
You fucking bastard. So Kendall Jenner said she missed out on a normal childhood.
Kendall Jenner said she missed out on a normal childhood when she came out of the womb filthy rich, and now she's fucking rich. Still rich. Even though...
Yeah, people who don't have money are very pissed off about the statement.
so we're talking about... Is it Caitlyn Jenner?
No, it's Kate. Well, it's technically Caitlyn Jenner's daughter.
Oh, sorry, Caitlyn Jenner's daughter.
With
which daughter?
Kris Kardashian.
Which daughter?
Caitlyn. Or I'm sorry, Kendall.
Kendall.
Yeah,
Jenner.
Kendall Jenner. Yeah.
Kendall.
Missed out on a normal childhood because of the Kardashian fame.
Let me explain something to you.
You ain't gotta explain nothing to me.
If you want to switch, I will switch
anytime.
Anytime you would like.
Anytime.
Because, me personally, knowing what I know now at 32.
I drive a 2003 Chevy S10. Like, we could switch.
Dad, yeah, I'm in 10th grade now. You know what I'm saying? I got my license and whatnot. Can I get that new BMW Mach 6? What's good?
You can have this tricolored 89 Grand Prix. That's tricolored because
or
it's
you
a
can have
car.
nothing. You can keep riding the bus, bitch. Come on, dude. Seriously, I don't feel a bit sorry for your stupid ass.
I think she got like a fucking Mercedes Benz or some shit.
That's what
like
I'm
that.
saying. It's just like, what, bitch?
Like a Ferrari or something.
Dog, look, this chick's stupid. She's stupid. She's stupid.
That's just some of that rich bullshit that floats around for people who don't understand what it's like to not have money.
Yeah, I think that's
dumb as fuck.
That's fucking gimmick and somebody trying to feel sorry. Nobody feels sorry for you, bitch. Alright?
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit sorry for you.
Isn't she the one that started that stupid lip in the bottle gimmick where like people were blowing out their lips and shit like that?
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, she's a fucking idiot.
That's brilliant.
You're a dumb bitch. Let's trade though, for real. Let's trade.
Yeah, we could trade any second.
Let's trade. I would definitely have hot lesbian sex with your sisters.
Okay, yeah. I'm not angry about that. I was gonna be like, you
don't
fucking weirdo.
Don't be.
I'm like, no. Yeah.
That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. Vern Troyer has a Facebook show. It's trash, but it's amazing at the same time.
How's it amazing and trash?
Because Mini-Me is over there trying to do fucking...
My man did I saw a video on Facebook where my man had a fucking Power Wheel car.
That's how I found it.
And it's funny because my daughter has the same fucking car and it has a remote control, like a wireless remote control that you can control it with.
The Tesla?
Not a Tesla version. It was
his shit is like a mini Tesla.
Hers is a Beamer.
He's got 2 mini cars like that, like a mini Tesla.
Yeah, I bought my daughter a Beamer. Not. Her granddad did. Grandpappy. I can just control it.
So, like, my man goes out to downtown LA and goes to restaurants and shit.
Right.
And he's like, they like take him to the kitchen and like they like let him make stuff or whatever. He never wants to make it because he's fucking Mini-Me and his hands are all fucking jacked or whatever. He's got like 5 index fingers and shit.
It's weird. He's weird. It was still funny as shit to watch him ride in on that fucking car.
So he's got like the Dub logo on the back of his fucking get around.
Yeah.
So the first one he went to go do the ultimate pizza burger. And they like make a mini pizza and then they put it on top of a burger, right? And like him trying to eat it was like hilarious because you're watching this fucking midget with this gigantic. The burger is literally the size of his head, and watching him like unhinge his jaw to try to take a bite.
I bet you that was funny.
The last episode I watched was him making. He went to a PB&J LA.
Really?
And they do like gourmet peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And the idea is actually...
How do you do a gourmet peanut butter and jelly sandwich? I'll get there.
So they take ideas and they make them into sandwiches, right? So they do like nut butters and custom jams. So like one of them is like an old fashioned. So they have like this like it's got like Angosteen bitters in it and like lemon zest and orange zest and all this other shit in it. It's like pretty dope. And they have like another one where they do like espresso peanut butter with like a raspberry gourmet jam, and they put them in between these 2 pieces of bread that are made specifically for their restaurant, and then they put them in this press, so it's like one of those those PB&J like Lunchable things, like the ones with no crust that they sell. It's like that, and they toast them, and then you eat this like gourmet peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's actually a pretty decent idea.
Where is this at?
It's in the central. It's like in the main mall of Central LA.
If it wasn't in California,
I mean, it could never exist out here, but in LA,
absolutely not. In LA, it would work for sure.
But the show is hilarious because you get to watch Mini-Me go doing all this other shit.
Well, I mean, him riding in on that fucking Power Wheel was worth it. This shit was totally worth it. If you haven't
watching
seen
him trying to get the box for the fucking Power Wheel into his garage,
that shit
was amazing. Have you ever seen Marshawn Lynch's show on Facebook?
Yeah, I have.
No Script with Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah, No Script with Marshawn Lynch.
That show is amazing.
No, Marshawn Lynch, though, I mean, like...
is my favorite person.
You want to talk about the greatest human of all time?
He's so cool.
I mean, you want to talk about a mixture of hood, can turn white when he wants to.
He's always repped Oakland, though.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, like, you want to talk about a dude that is just genuinely a good dude. You know what I mean? I watched a video, or I tagged you in a video the other day with...
I'm from Brooklyn City, ain't no city like us.
Yeah. Like, I tagged you in a video the other day where... what's the chick's name that does that big, tall bike and, like...
And flips, the plates and shit?
And, like, flips plates on her head and shit. Was it, like, Red Dragon or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, no, Red Panda.
That's Panda, yeah.
That's her name. He was in there, and she was doing all this shit, and he was like, oh, shit, girl. I see you on the bike. just like nonchalant. What you gonna do with that bowl? Oh, you gonna flip that bowl on your head. Okay, I see you. Just like he be just chilling.
And so he has a Facebook show where they do a show with him unscripted. So they had him like drive a fucking like a pace car, and he fucking blew out all the wheels on this pace car. He had to replace them and shit. But my favorite episode was when he walked in and he saw the fucking martial arts setup with these cinder blocks to like break like these blocks. Mm-hmm. And so he starts walking around like, who's the cat who's trying to break blocks? And I'm like, oh, he's this big motherfucker walking around here. He's like, yo, who the giant cat trying to break blocks? He's like walking around the whole studio, and he's like, they had lasagna back here? How come they didn't tell me about the lasagna back here? Like, you're just
like in mid-sentence. Like, he's trying to look for this big dude that's breaking blocks, but they got lasagna, so he stops for the lasagna.
And everybody he walks through with, he's cool with it.
And he's cool as fuck,
And so he walks across, like, one of the maintenance guys. He's like, oh, look at this guy right here. And he squeezes his bicycle. Oh, you strong, dog. like, you buff, dog. Like,
you strong.
You strong as hell.
You know, you don't say strong, you strong.
You strong as hell.
Yeah.
And so he goes back there and he's looking at this big fat giant dude who's in this fucking, he's got like gym shorts on and like a gi top. And he's sitting there and you can see him like clowning in his head, right? And the guy lines up to the first line of blocks.
That's what I'm saying. Fucking, like, he be clowning in his head, but then he realizes they got some talent.
This guy fucking destroys these blocks. And you see him sit up and adjust for a second. And he does it 3 more times, right? Yeah. And he goes, he just stands up, he slow claps him, right? And he goes, listen, dog, I got to apologize. When you first came up here, I was going to crack a joke on you and ask you why you ankle so ashy. But after seeing the way you disrespected those bricks, I take it back.
He's so fucking legit. It's so funny.
Marshawn Lynch is the best.
He said that to Red Panda, the chick that be flipping bowls on the top of her head. She's like, when the first time you came out here, I was gonna clown you, but when you started flipping them bowls on top of your head. And then he tried to get up there and do it, and all the producers, like the producer came from the back, was like, no, Marshawn, no.
He tries to do all of it.
Yeah, he tries to do everything.
So there's guys who are doing like,
no, Marshawn, you can't do that.
No, Marshawn.
No, Marshawn.
You had this guy who
and Marshawn be up there, let me smash.
Marshawn doesn't give a fuck. It's so
amazing. He does not give a fuck.
And so like with the pace car drivers, like, no, you gotta stop. He's over there driving, right? And so there was this limbo chick that came in there, right? And she does a super low limbo, and he's like, I can't do that, dog. Like, and so they started spinning bowls, right? And so he starts trying to spin a bowl, and then he learns how to spin a bowl on a stick. And then they were like, so he goes over to do the limbo, and they're like trying to get him to do the real limbo. So he picks the bar up and he puts it on the highest setting. And he's like, you know, I need some motivation because she's cute, right? And so she starts doing this cute shit. He's like, yeah, but I'm from the streets, though. So she bows up real quick and starts boxing. So he goes under the thing and goes to throw hands. Because he's from Oakland. Like, as soon as she bowed up, he's like, oh, no, we got to fight now.
It's fucking hilarious.
Marshawn Lynch is, like, the most amazing human being.
Did you see that episode where he went out with Bear Grylls out in the middle of the wilderness?
He's like trying...
Fucking TV gold.
Somebody please put this guy on TV. Gold.
I'm telling you, whatever network signs Marshawn Lynch just to do a reality show,
that
I guarantee you would have outstanding ratings because that dude is fucking.
Who was that guy? Was it like Dhani Jones or something like that?
Yeah, Dhani Jones.
If he can get a show, Marshawn absolutely needs to have a show.
When
but
Marshawn
here's the
Lynch
show.
Retires.
Here's the show. Here's the show though. Do like Anthony Bourdain, no reservations.
Yeah.
But send Marshawn instead.
Exactly.
It would be fucking amazing.
Just send Marshawn all over the world to do just crazy shit.
Send Marshawn to Marseille.
Yes.
Like send Marshawn to Spain.
Fucking send Marshawn Lynch to fucking Germany. You know what I'm saying? Like do Oktoberfest. Like, what? By the way, copyright, motherfuckers. If you decide to use this idea,
that's not how copyrights work.
Well, fuck that. We're gonna go ahead and patent that shit. Marshawn, holla at us. We're gonna get this done for you, dog. We're gonna get this done for you.
So, when we're talking about amazing humans, I want to talk about a fight I just saw.
Which one?
Vanderlei versus Holly Holm.
I like how you... Damn it, I can't... Fuck, you know what I'm talking about.
Cyborg.
Fuck it, Chris Cyborg. You know what I'm saying?
It's Vanderlei with a wig.
Every time I want to say her, but I know for a fact it's a dude.
She got a bigger dick than I do.
She do. She really do. She really do. When she hit her with that overhand right in the first round, and her corner is just over there. She felt your power. And I saw Holly's face after she felt it. I could see the anxiety, the actual fear of getting knocked out. Like, this chick is ridiculous. She's ridiculous.
She was hitting her for real.
Yeah, she was hitting her for real. and like, you know what's funny though? I mean, like that fight went all 5 rounds. I gotta give it up to Holly. I haven't seen anybody go 5 rounds with this chick. I've seen somebody go 4 rounds. I've not seen somebody go 5 rounds.
After the other fight, the one before that Cyborg fought, where she actually fought somebody that was the same size as her.
That's what I'm saying.
I was starting to get real suspicious of Cyborg's abilities.
Right.
And that's where I was like, Holly could stand a chance. Now, first of all, I will never, ever put money against Cyborg.
Oh, I'll never put money. If you put money against Chris Cyborg, you're an idiot. Vanderlei Silva, the third, is too good. It's scary though, because you could see Cyborg get comfortable, and she was just like, you know what?
Every time
I'm not even gonna knock her out. I'm just gonna beat the shit out of her.
Every time she got booped, she
ate it.
She fucking bopped her 12 times back, like way worse.
Ate it.
She just absorbed it and just bopped the shit out of Holly. At some point,
by
round 3, I was flinching for Holly Holmes. Like, no, don't hit her like that.
She was kneeing her in the stomach.
No, don't hit her like that.
Oh, Jesus. But fucking, like...
I would be surprised if Holly ever fought again.
The only problem, like, I don't see... That's what I'm saying. I don't see another chick hopping in the ring with her unless it's Holly Holmes at this point.
They got another one lined up. She already got another fight lined up.
Yeah, but that chick's gonna get fucking mauled. She's trash.
I'm just saying.
She just signed from Invicta. That's, as a matter of fact, the funny part is, it's the chick that was in Invicta that when Cyborg left, that's who has her belt. She's gonna maul her.
My whole thing with the UFC is, how is the women's division so much more compelling than anything the men have going on right now?
Really compelling, because I mean, like, look at the other 2 women's divisions below that. You got Rose Namajunas took out Young J.
I didn't see that coming. That was a great fight.
I didn't see that coming at all. I thought Joanna would fucking dominate, and she didn't. And Thug Rose,
yeah.
Thug Rose she's legit. That makes that weight class even more compelling, because Joanna still has, I mean, she'll probably have to fight a
you still got
contender fight.
I feel like Paige Van Zandt's kind of like the Uriah Faber of the women's division. Like, that was somebody who was doing really well before anybody.
They were trying to make the Karate Hottie that, but then she got fucking melted.
And then, but up to that point, the only person you had was Ronda fucking disrespecting the whole weight class.
True.
And
until
then
Holly came in and put her in her fucking place.
And then who's the other one that Ronda used to fight all the time? You know what I'm talking about. Miesha Tate. Right? Like, those were the only women that you really knew about.
Here was the compelling thing. Holly Holmes knocked out Ronda. 4 months down the road,
Miesha
Tate chokes out Holly. Takes the belt. Amanda Nunes comes in, fucks up Miesha Tate. And now Amanda Nunes has that belt. Holly really wasn't even fighting in her weight class. They make a weight class just for Cyborg to come in.
The chick who was the champion just goes, nah, fam, and retires.
Yeah. This is the funny part, because Holly should have had the belt anyway. We should have had this fight way sooner than what we had it. So,
but Holly was coming off of like 3 losses.
She was coming off of 3 losses, but she beat her.
Who is the chick with the giant bush? The one whose boyfriend in Chicago just got shot up.
I can't remember.
She was like the number 7 ranked striker or something like that. But like, there's some really good fights in the women's division.
There's some really good fights in the women's division if you watch them.
But there's like
there's
only like one fight I'm really interested in coming up.
What's that?
What's his name? Miocic, Stipe, the current heavyweight champion.
Stokes Miocic.
Versus that fucking...
Oh, the French dude that knocked out...
that fucking monster.
That kid, that dude.
He is just...
man.
What's the uppercut that Ryu and Ken do?
Ryu Ken.
Just fucking uppercutting dudes to meet Jesus.
I ain't never seen no uppercut like that. Because he took Alistair Overeem's head smooth the fuck off.
I've never been like a huge fan of Miocic. But he's solid. He's a good. Solid fighter.
He finishes fights.
He's a good solid fighter.
He finishes fights.
And he's actually got the
here's
tied to the record of most defenses.
Here's what I'll say about this fight right here, though, with Miocic. Miocic has proved his worth as a champion. Don't think this dude's gonna walk in and just knock him the fuck out like Alistair Overeem. Miocic got hands.
He's too smart for that.
Miocic got hands, and he got a ground game.
But anybody can get caught.
This is true, especially in the heavyweight division. If it's a heavyweight fight, you almost might as well go ahead and say, somebody going to fucking sleep.
You know who he reminds me of? Is a combination between if Junior Dos Santos could like wrestle like Randy Couture.
Yeah.
Like that's the way that he reminds me of. Like
Miocic is like that. Yeah.
But this guy is like Shet Congo with a chin.
Yeah, exactly. Like
this guy is fucking monstrous.
This dude is a fucking monster. There's another dude out there in the heavyweight division. My man that's from Houston that went out there and helped all the Houston cats. Like he hasn't gotten his title shot yet either, but he's the Beast is what they call him. The Beast. He fucking be knocking people the fuck out too. So it's like that the heavyweight division's got some gusto. I mean, it's real interesting.
Bones Jones has completely delegitimizes the light heavyweight division.
If John Bones Jones had been clean,
Tyron Woodley is boring as fuck.
Tyron Woodley is boring as fuck. Yes,
a smart fighter, but he's boring as fuck.
But I mean, he can knock somebody the fuck out too, because he got that one punch knockout effect.
Conor McGregor won't fight anybody.
We will never see Conor again. He has made his money. We will never see Conor again.
You won't be able to make a UFC $50 million fight.
You won't.
Although I do think my man Habib would
but I will tell you this: if they decide to make that $50 million fight, and it's Habib versus Conor McGregor,
the Eagle taking him out,
I'm paying for it. Because let me tell you something: what I saw Saturday night out of Habib,
my man is good.
That cat's a fucking monster, and if he gets his hands on you, you done. You might as well go ahead and cancel it. Because if he gets you on the ground, you're fucked.
With Bisping just dethroned and GSP taking the belt and then
the middleweight division. The middleweight division is
delegitimized.
Like you got to find a middleweight. Max Holloway though.
Oof.
Max Holloway has proved his worth. My man has beaten Aldo twice. Max Holloway is one of my favorite fighters right now.
Aldo ain't never been the same though.
He hasn't. Not since Conor knocked him out.
Now I do have
but
a
at
theory.
the same time, if you come at a dude twice and he knocks you out and you're supposed to be the truth,
you only have so many great fights in you. And and the guys from fucking Strikeforce who were coming over had already had their fights.
Yeah, they've had their fights, dude. It's time for the new generation.
Just like when Vanderlei came to the UFC, he'd already had all the fights he was going to have.
If we could name the new generation of UFC fighters right now that are going to make the UFC big and exciting to watch, Max Holloway would be one.
You got like 6 great fights in you your whole career.
Habib.
Don't forget about Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse is still there. I think he needs to go up in weight though. Because there just ain't nobody in that division to fuck with.
He's so little, though. He can't really go up in weight.
I'm going to need this nigga to take something, steroids or some shit. You know what I'm saying? They just going to have to let him take steroids to fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? Let him do something. There's nobody in the division.
I watched Quentin Rampage getting ready to fight Chael Sonnen.
And so, speaking of that, this Bellator tournament, I mean, that sounds pretty enticing. I mean,
they needed to have the first round in one night, though.
They do.
They do it for pay-per-view.
Straight up do a K1.
Just do the first round one night, right?
Straight up do a K1.
Right, but you have to have it in like Japan or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that the not Las Vegas athletic commission can't weigh in on it. Right. So you have the first round in one night. So like I'll tell you how the Pride Grand Prix used to work.
I remember how Pride used to work.
So they do the first round of 16 as one event.
Yeah, one event.
Right? And then they do the next event is a round of 8 with some other fights in it, right?
Yeah.
And then the last day of the event, right, they do the quarterfinals, and then the finalists main event that night, right? So, like for me, the greatest fighting tournament that ever happened was the Pride Grand Prix, the first one.
Prides were awesome, dude.
Right? You had in there Kazushi Sakuraba, Igor Vovchanchin.
About a motherfucking legend.
And he was just a goofy cat, man. Yes. He was a pro wrestler, like from fucking New Japan. Igor Vovchanchin, the 5'10" Russian, Ukrainian destroyer.
Yeah.
You know, just fucking knocking cats out left and right. You know, the tournament itself was just amazing.
It was fun to watch.
You know, and then just like the talent that you had available. I need me a real deal Grand Prix. Like, I know that UFC has the Ultimate Fighter competition, whatever, but I need me some more stuff like Bellator is doing.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, like, why can't we, like...
But do it, the 8 fighters in one night, right? So you do Chael Sonnen versus Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Bellator on the map, though, doing that.
Then you do, the same night, you do Fedor versus whoever he's fighting. I think it's... who's he fighting? Well, let me pull up the card real quick.
Pull up the card. You have to...
Yeah.
There's so many fighters in there. I know Frank Mir is in it.
Oh, Fedor's fighting Frank Mir.
Yeah, okay.
And then Roy Nelson is fighting Matt Mitrione.
Yeah.
And then there's a 4th fight.
You're going to have to look that one up because I can't remember.
Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix. Oh, it's King Lo versus Ryan Bader.
Ooh.
Right? So you had that in one night.
I got Ryan Bader in that fight, though.
I got King Mo.
You got King Mo?
I got King Mo.
I'm going Ryan Bader.
Right?
Ryan the Master Bader.
So let's work this real quick, right? Let's do the fight tournament real quick.
Okay.
So Chael versus Rampage.
Rampage.
I take Rampage as well.
Unless it goes to the ground.
Fedor versus Mir.
Depends.
You gotta pick.
If it goes to the ground, Frank.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I think Fedor. But if it goes to hands, Fedor got a glass jaw now.
Well, no. If it goes to hands, Fedor still got them hands, regardless.
So I think Fedor wins that fight.
I'm still picking Frank because I think it will go to the ground.
Okay, so remember, you got Frank, I got Fedor.
That's fine.
Right? Roy Nelson versus Matt Mitrione. I will never vote against Big Country because he got hands and a jaw.
You're right. And Big Country be throwing hands.
Matt Mitrione's not a schlub.
He's not, but Big Country though, he be putting people to sleep, especially if he catch you with the overhand.
You took Bader, and I took King Mo, right? So the way that if I was a build promoter, the way I would line up my fights then would be I would have Fedor fighting Rampage, and I would have King Mo fighting Roy Nelson.
Okay.
Wait, no. I'll have King Mo fighting Rampage, and then I'll have Fedor fight Roy Nelson.
Yeah, but they already had that fight, and that fight was so stupid.
What?
King Mo versus Rampage.
Who won?
The second one?
Uh-huh.
I want to say it was King Mo. I believe.
Right. I'll take King Mo. I'll take Rampage.
You want to take Rampage?
And then I'll take
King Mo.
I'll take Roy Nelson over Fedor because he knocks him out.
Roy Nelson over Fedor.
So my final is Rampage versus Roy Nelson. Your fights will be you picked Ryan Bader,
okay,
Frank Mir,
right,
Roy Nelson, and Rampage. Who are your fights? Well, how would you, as a promoter, how would you line those fights up?
I would probably put Roy Nelson against Ryan Bader.
And then you'd have...
Because they're going to square off.
Rampage versus Mir?
I'm going to have Rampage versus Mir.
Who do you pick?
I'm going to pick Rampage over Mir.
I would take Mir over Rampage, but...
That's cool. Whatever. It just depends on how the fight goes and what... And honestly...
I just see that he catches him in a submission.
Let's say this. What condition is Rampage actually in?
He's okay.
Yeah.
I saw him today. He was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, what condition is he gonna come into the fight? Is he gonna let Frank Mir dictate the tempo, or is he gonna stay up?
But Frank Mir never dictated tempo. He's always been a counter fighter.
Exactly. So, what I mean is he gonna let Frank Mir get his hands?
When Frank gets him to the ground,
if
right?
Frank gets him to the ground, it's over.
He's too big to slam.
Yes.
And he catches him in a triangle, or he catches him in a fucking rear naked choke or
Mir's
something.
ground game is just really good.
But Rampage could always ground and pound him.
Rampage could always ground and pound him because Rampage does have a wrestling background.
But I'd still take Frank.
Would
you take Rampage?
I would still take Frank on the ground. Standing up, I'm taking Rampage.
So you got Roy Nelson.
So I'm taking Rampage in that fight.
And Ryan Bader.
Roy. Big Country Kane.
So your main fight is
Big Country.
the exact same fight I got.
The exact same fight. In that final,
I take Roy.
It depends who catches who first.
My whole thing is that Roy Nelson doesn't go down like a bitch.
You know, he doesn't, and that's what I mean.
Rampage's jaw is suspect sometimes.
It is suspect sometimes.
After what Vanderlei and Shogun, who I did to him, and fucking Murillo Ninja, who I did to him, his jaw has been suspect for a minute. I actually pick Roy Nelson to win this tournament.
You think Roy Nelson will win this tournament?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the same. I think Roy will win this tournament.
I don't think you'll win it, but as far as like a logical fight fan goes, yeah, I think Roy's got a pretty good chance to win this fight.
Roy's got a pretty good shot.
And to think, in a name full of Frank Mir, I think if you line, I would have lined the fights up a little different.
So would I. I would have actually put Frank Mir versus Chael Sonnen.
I would have picked Frank Mir versus Matt Mitrione.
Why?
Similar body types, different styles of fighting. Matt Mitrione got hands. He can wrestle. Frank Mir's, got a suspect jaw sometimes. Can do grappling. It would be just a good fight to watch, right? I would take Ryan Bader versus Roy Nelson. Right? I would take Chael Sonnen versus Fedor.
Fedor would fucking knock him out.
I don't know.
What you mean you don't know? Chael Sonnen is so small, bro. He's so small. As a matter of fact, they call it a heavyweight Grand Prix, right? Like it's
they all just went to heavyweight, yeah.
It's a heavyweight tournament, right? Chael Sonnen fought middleweight and light heavy.
He's a good wrestler, and
he is a
Fedor isn't the greatest at the wrestling.
Like the Huntington Beach bad boy who can't beat fucking nobody.
You got a point.
Beat him.
But Fedor ain't even close to the fighter he used to be.
He's not, but at the same time,
and
Fedor
then Rampage versus King Mo.
Fedor would still beat Chael Sonnen's ass. I would have put like Chael Sonnen versus like Frank Mir.
And in the first round, in the first round, I would take King Mo, Fedor, Roy Nelson, and Frank Mir. And then you match up the fights as Ryan Bader versus Frank Mir and Fedor versus King Mo. Right? And then that's just you don't know. You don't
really
fucking know.
Because it's whoever catches who first.
So that's the way I would have lined up that fight.
Right.
Let's change gears.
All right.
Let's talk about some football.
Let's do that. Yeah, I like that.
So, there's a lot of rumors going around in the coaching circles. A lot of coaches have been fired at the end of the postseason.
Yeah.
Or at the beginning of the postseason, you get the coaching carousel.
You do get the coaching carousel.
So the Raiders are moving to Las Vegas.
Yes, they are.
And they are offering ownership stake and coaching to John Gruden. John Gruden loves coaching quarterbacks. That's his deal.
Right.
And he's got Derek Carr chilling there. Derek Carr, not a great quarterback, but he could be.
He could be.
With the right coaching.
I like Derek Carr. And
John Gruden came out today and said it's a probability.
Oh, yeah.
That he wants to come back.
It's happening.
Monday Night Football has record low ratings.
Record low ratings.
And he's trying. He just wants to erase the thought in his mind of what if. You see it in Bill Cowher's face all the time. What if?
What if you had stayed?
What if you would go back? Could you still do it? Could you still lead a championship team?
Bill Cowher could still do it.
I liked Bill Cowher.
I want to say, I'm a Philadelphia fan, but there are a lot of coaches I like out there. Like Mike Tomlin is one. Mike Tomlin is a guy that like I played football for a long time. Mike Tomlin is a dream coach for a player. That dude is awesome. He's awesome, dude. Like, I'm not a Steelers fan. I got love for him because they're in Pennsylvania, of course. I mean, like, if it's just an AFC team I like, it's the fucking Steelers. I do watch the Steelers.
Who is the guy? I gotta look him up. I
do watch the Steelers, but Philadelphia is my squad. And I do like the Raiders too. And I think that's
Jack Del Rio.
Yeah, Jack Del Rio was their coach.
I really wanted him to go to Tampa.
I don't think he'll go to Tampa.
Well, they're taking Dick. They're gonna let Dick because they thought they were gonna get John Gruden.
Did they let the coach go in San Francisco?
No,
he stayed.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got Jimmy.
They won like the last 4 games.
I've been hyping up Jimmy Garoppolo for years. I've been saying
Jimmy Garoppolo is a fucking.
I've been hyping up Jimmy Garoppolo for years,
and they've been hiding him on the bench for the longest time.
The only reason they got rid of him, right?
What's really funny? What? Yes, I do.
What? Tell me what you know.
I know a lot. Let me explain. So, a couple of years back, a lot of people, if you keep up with football a lot, Bill Belichick is thinking about leaving the game. He's thinking about retiring.
Thinking about retiring, yeah.
Thinking about retiring, right?
He ain't gonna retire till Tom goes up.
And what's the big spill about the Patriots that Tom Brady's the GOAT? It ain't got nothing to do with the coaches. Tom Brady's the fucking GOAT.
It's a system.
Guess motherfucking what? Bill Belichick has set the Patriots up for motherfucking failure. Let me tell you why. Tom was suspended last year for 4 games, correct? Am I wrong?
No, not wrong.
Not wrong at all, right? Who were the 2 quarterbacks that superseded Tom in those 4 wins?
Jimmy Garoppolo,
and who else?
I don't remember.
Mr. Brissett, the quarterback for the Colts.
Jacoby Brissett.
Funny, right? He was the 3rd string quarterback behind Garoppolo. So, let me go ahead and finish. So, guess what happens this season? So, 2 years ago, Bill Belichick wanted to trade Tom. Wanted to trade him. The owner said, fuck no.
Okay. Yeah, I have a theory. I'm letting you finish.
Yeah. Lo and behold, I mean, like, this is my whole thing. I read an article on it and stuff like that, though. But, so lo and behold, Bill Belichick's all about the things like, I can do this shit without Tom. I don't fucking need Tom. Let's trade him. You know what I'm saying? I got Jimmy sitting back here. Jimmy can win fucking games. As we've all seen, right? He took the San Francisco 49ers
5-0.
And they went what, 5-0?
5-0.
No,
they went 5-0.
5-0.
5-0.
Okay, they went 5-0. Guess who has the same record as the Raiders right now? After a team that went 0-9, and then they got Jimmy Garoppolo and went 5-0.
49ers.
The San Francisco 49ers. Who's the quarterback of that team, Matt? Jimmy Garoppolo, right?
Yep.
Who was the backup quarterback for the Patriots before he got traded?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Who did Bill Belichick want as quarterback?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Why did Bill Belichick trade a quarterback like that from a franchise that is thriving right now? It's a stab at the owner. It's a straight stab at the owner.
You're on a good track.
You feel what I'm saying?
You have a couple of things misplaced.
Why?
The want to trade...
He wanted to trade
The want to trade Tom Brady was that he didn't necessarily want to trade him, but he didn't want him to start. And it started this year, right?
Okay.
Coming from last year, right? So the idea was get Jimmy Garoppolo more playing time, right? He wasn't saying, let's make Jimmy our starting quarterback. He was saying, let's mix him in more often because I want to start preparing him for the future. So here's what happened. What is it that is known about Bill Belichick? And the press?
He fucking hates talking to the press.
And what is the doctrine to his assistant coaches?
Huh?
What is his doctrine to the assistant coaches? Are they allowed to talk to the press?
Fuck no.
Right? What about his players?
They ain't talking to him either.
They can talk to him, but only you have to be reserved.
Right.
Right? So, what is his relationship with Robert Kraft?
It fucking sucks.
It's not great.
No, it fucking sucks.
He won Super Bowls.
Yeah, he did.
But who has a better relationship with Robert Kraft than he does? Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean,
now,
I didn't
here's
get
the
to
thing.
that in my theory,
Here's the
but
thing.
It's the same thing.
Tom Brady didn't necessarily say, I need to start. Now, if anybody knows Tom Brady and the way he thinks, it's absolutely an eventuality, right? Mm-hmm. But he goes to Robert Kraft and he says, I have a quarterback in the wings. I want to start talking negotiations to trade out Tom Brady to see if we can maximize his return. Essentially, he's thinking of Tom Brady like Bitcoin. We've already gotten absolutely everything we can get from this guy, and he still has major value. Let's get major value back for Tom Brady.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And start prepping Jimmy Garoppolo. And Robert Kraft goes, fuck no, Tom Brady is our quarterback. Okay?
this is our guy. This is the guy who I'm going to ride with into the sunset, right? Robert Kraft is an old guy. He might not ever see the Jimmy Garoppolo era. Mm-hmm. So he says, no. Trade Jimmy. So he goes, sure, whatever. Then the Browns come calling. And he says, I used to be a Browns coach.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely a shot at the Browns.
But...
fuck you, Browns.
When you talk about when you get outside of divisional matchups, what other division lines up with them all the time?
The Browns division, for sure.
Browns, Steelers, Ravens, Cincy.
Absolutely. No.
What division does not line up with them hardly ever?
The NFC West.
So, trade him to a place I'll never see. Right? And if I do see them, it's rare. Once. Rare.
Very
right?
Rare.
But let's not trade him to a shithole. Let's trade him to a place where
they got some.
It's low key. Not a lot of people see what's going on, but they got a young coach, and he's missing a piece.
He's missing a
and you know what? I'm Bill Belichick, and I'm always calculating behind the scenes, right? I need Jimmy Garoppolo to go to a place where he will be fantastic. And I could look back at Robert Kraft literally 2 years from now, show him my middle finger, whip out my dick and say, I told you fucking so. Send him to San Fran. Right? They got some receivers. They got a decent line. Right? They just decent. It's decent. It's not the best. It's not notable. But it's okay. It's okay line.
It's a decent one. He went 5-0 with it.
It's an okay line. They got Carlos Hyde. Right? So you got a running game.
Have Carlos
right?
Hyde.
You got a decent defense, right? It's not the greatest defense in the world,
decent wide
but it's
receivers.
decent. But you know what it looks like? It looks a lot like a Bill Belichick team.
Ooh.
Not a lot of name brand there.
I see what
not
you're
a lot
saying.
of payroll.
Well, stop.
And one
I
guy,
already know where you're going with
one
this.
guy can make all the difference in the world.
Well, like I said, Bill's trying to get out of the fucking Patriots.
But he also wants that ultimate fuck you back to Robert Kraft.
Well, true, but at the same time,
because Bill always holds a grudge.
Yep, and here's what's going to happen, and I see where you're going with this. Can I finish it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So,
see if you're mopping what I'm dropping.
Let's see what this is. Bill, at this point, seeing as he's having some issues with the owner and whatnot,
he's always had issues with the owner, but he wins, and that's the problem.
But now it's like, you know what? It's almost time to leave. Let me set up my next team.
Let me smash.
Well,
if he could set up his own team, he'd stay for another 5 years, right?
Well, why would he do that?
Because you have Jimmy Garoppolo. You have the exact same team.
But he doesn't have Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's not...
No. Pre-Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, pre.
This is the way that Bill Belichick's thinking.
Well, that's the way he was thinking, but now he's thinking it's like, you know what? I'm not going to get that team here. Let me send him somewhere else. I was
genuinely pissed off when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I was a season ticket holder at the time,
right,
didn't pick Jimmy Garoppolo, right? And then they let him slip to the Patriots, right? And then the next year it's like, oh, we were going for Jameis Winston.
Yep.
Fuck Jameis Winston, right? I get the idea, big quarterback, like a Cam Newton type guy. But let's talk about this. I think Shannon Sharp had one of the best interviews I've seen in a while when he did this thing. It's like, as a football community, we need to accept the fact that Cam Newton is not only not a great quarterback, but he's not even a good quarterback. And I'll tell you this fact, right? You probably don't realize. Cam Newton's QBR percentage is 85.7. The average quarterback in the NFL is 87.3.
True.
He's not even as good as the average quarterbacks in the league. He has one superstar performance a month, which means he has 3 out of 12 games, he's a superstar. And the rest of the time, he's a subpar quarterback.
I mean, like, I don't necessarily... I don't dislike
this
Cam,
league,
but I'm going to say this.
This league requires... Hold on, let me finish my train of thought real quick. I'll let you...
Go ahead.
This league requires accuracy-based quarterbacks. Quarterbacks with good vision, quarterbacks with accuracy, and quarterbacks who can understand playbook programs. Quarterbacks who can change on the fly.
What quarterbacks would those be, Matt?
Guys like Drew Brees, guys like Tom Brady, guys like Jimmy Garoppolo. Take a look at the let's put this out there.
You're missing a name.
Who am I missing?
You are missing Carson Wentz.
No. Carson Wentz is by far the best quarterback in the league right now. If he hadn't, the Eagles will be locked.
We'll say this. We'll say this. and I'm just going to prove a point. I said that Carson Wentz was the truth. Was I not? Did I not?
I hate you.
You can hate me all you want to. I just want to put this in perspective, y'all. Carson Wentz had 33 touchdowns before he went down with a knee injury.
He has more touchdowns with 3 less games than Tom Brady had.
3 games. Not just Tom Brady. It took 3 games for Russell Wilson.
I've never liked Russell Wilson.
I understand, but I mean, like, this is the perspective, and they're talking about the whole MVP race and stuff like that. I just want to put in perspective. It took 3 games for Tom Brady, Russell Wilson to even get close. And I just want to put in perspective, it's just like, let's say Carson Wentz does not get hurt. We're talking about almost a 45 to 48 touchdown season. That's what we're talking about right now.
And I'll say
all
this:
right, I'm done with Carson Wentz.
No. I have one thing. I'll give you a point of validation.
Wentz,
I'll give you a point of validation.
Go ahead.
So, last time we did a show, I did say that Carson Wentz was a benefactor of a program. Now, no. That's because Nick Foles went out and threw 4 touchdowns and had a phenomenal game.
True.
And then we got this last game.
We got the last 2 games.
And he did not produce.
No.
Which makes the Eagles a very unthreatening home field advantage.
It makes us vulnerable.
It's not vulnerable. You're unthreatening. It's
very unthreatening because we don't have that threat of, you know, if we have Carson Wentz right now, I have no doubt in my mind.
With Carson Wentz, that is the most fearful home field advantage.
The Eagles win a Super Bowl this year.
I don't know that they win a Super Bowl.
They win a Super Bowl.
But they definitely make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, they make it to the Super Bowl and they fucking win it.
But if they play Tom Brady, they don't win.
No. If they play Tom Brady, they win.
No. I'll make a point. I'll tell you my track of thought is.
Because Carson Wentz would carve the fucking Patriots up. Period.
I'm gonna give you a win and I'm gonna give you a loss.
Okay.
So I was listening to the Dan Patrick show the other day.
Fuck Dan Patrick.
I like Dan Patrick.
I don't like Dan Patrick.
I actually really like that show. And he was saying, first of all, he made a comment that was absolutely hilarious. He's like, I deserve combat pay for having to watch the Titans and Chiefs game.
This
right?
is true. This is true.
But like his producer McLovin says, can we just go ahead and skip to the Patriots versus the Steelers AFC Championship game, right? Which is what we all believe, right?
That's what I believe is going to happen. Unless you know what's funny? Who's flying under the radar right now? And you're going to laugh at me. They can go ahead and say that that's a tough game or whatever they want to say. The Titans are tough to play.
I don't know that they have
that's
enough
a shout out
weaponry,
to you, bro. I'm just going to say that the Titans.
I don't know that they have enough weaponry to be able to hang. They can make it. They could possibly make it to an AFC game.
If you keep the Titans in the game, not because of Marcus Mariota or anything like that, but for some reason they win games.
I have a hope and a dream, and I'll get to that after I make my point.
Go ahead.
All right. If it goes to AFC Championship, Steelers Patriots, right? And the Carson Wentz Philadelphia Eagles make it to the Super Bowl.
Well, we're not going to see that.
If they get to the Steelers, they win, no problem. I'm talking about a blowout game. I'm talking about like 15 to 16 point advantage.
Here's my rebuttal to that, though. Here's my rebuttal to that. Two individuals. I have the rebuttal. Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown.
Here's where
there is not a corner or safety in the league that can double cover Antonio Brown. There's not.
I'll give you that, but it's not the Steelers' offense that I'm concerned about.
It's their defense.
It's the Steelers' defense.
Yes.
Minus Ryan Shazier,
and I will
they
say,
are missing.
Yeah, minus Ryan Shazier, yeah, you guys would
now
probably
they get Joe Hayden back, right?
If they get Joe Hayden back.
But he can only watch one receiver.
But that's fine.
But the Philadelphia Eagles don't focus one receiver.
No, they don't. Here's what they focus. The Eagles, as far as a inside pass rush in general, run stop in general, our front seven is fucking legit. You can say what the fuck you want. The last 3 games we have played, and I just want to put this in perspective. We played our first quarter against the Cowboys at full strength with Ezekiel Elliott.
Steelers get better at the more they get beat up, right?
Yes.
Right? That's a Big Ben quality that's been a Big Ben quality for years. You can actually like take Le'Veon Bell, you can beat him up, he's just going to keep getting the same amount of yardage.
I like Le'Veon
right?
Bell, though.
You got Juju Smith-Schuster, and I did like
Hold
this
on,
one.
Wait.
Hold
you
on.
didn't do him no justice when you said his name. JoJo, the Hitman Showstop.
So I'll say this, though. I did hear a good point as well.
What's up?
From the same show. Think about the wide receivers that have come out of Pittsburgh, right?
Plexico.
That have been trash
Wallace.
when they left.
Plexico, Wallace. You know why they've been trash? Because they don't have that Big Ben back there, dog.
Eli Manning, right?
But they don't have that Big Ben back there.
You have serviceable quarterbacks.
But you don't have that Big Ben.
Here's my thing. What if the Steelers just have a program that produces fantastic wide receivers?
Or they have
had
a quarterback
so many of
really
them
fucking good.
You've had so many of them that you just like, because okay, so what says you don't pay Antonio, right? Who do you have waiting in the wings?
Oh, you got Martellus Bennett, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju
is your next Antonio Brown.
Juju is your next Antonio, right?
Juju is your next Antonio Brown.
So 5 years ago, what conversation were we having? Can Antonio replace Mike Wallace?
Can Antonio replace Mike Wallace? Well, not
2 years ago. Before that, what conversation were we having?
Antonio might
can
be
Mike
the best
Wallace? Can Mike Wallace be the next Hines Award?
Be the next Hines Ward.
2 years before that, what conversation were we having? Can Hines Ward replace Santonio Holmes? So what if the Steelers are just that good at getting wide receivers and making them great with the quarterback?
We'll say 2 years now. 2 years, I would be saying.
2 years.
Is Antonio
now we're talking
Brown
about
the
10
best
years
wide
ago.
receiver in the league?
Now we're talking about 10 years ago almost.
Yeah, if we're talking about 10 years ago, then we're talking
That's
about
what we're
Hines
talking about.
Ward.
We're talking about 5 years ago, right? We're talking about can Antonio be the next Mike Wallace?
Or Santonio Holmes.
Can Mike Wallace be the next Hines Ward? Right. Can Hines Ward be the next Santonio Holmes? Right? So what if the Steelers, with their quarterback, are just so good at Purdue? Because you can't draft wide receivers like that, right? That just doesn't happen, right? So the Steelers have a system, and it's one of those systems like that people don't give credit to, right? It's not Todd Haley, it's that wide receivers coach, and it's Big Ben making those great throws, right? So as they get under pressure, they start to produce more points. The issue that I have then is that now you have to look at the other team's offense, right? So Joe Hayden's back, and he's been making great plays, right? But the Eagles don't utilize one wide receiver.
We fucking don't.
What other team just slays the shit out of us because they don't do the same thing?
The Patriots.
Right? Tom Brady could throw a touchdown pass to a mop, and it would still be...
Exactly. And that's the way...
What statistic, what record does Tom Brady have that no other quarterback has?
He's
more touchdown passes
in the playoffs
to more wide receivers than any other quarterback in history.
Yeah.
And he got that like 4 years ago. So you're talking Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, most of the time Gronk.
Fucking Brandon
Martellus
LaFleur.
Brandon
Brandon
Cooks.
Brandon LaFleur.
I'm talking about like right now.
No, we're talking about right now. So we're talking about Martellus Bennett. Well,
just right now. Who's down? Who's not showing up, right? Julian Edelman. Danny Amendola. Brandon Cooks isn't getting really any targets, right? Half the time Gronk ain't there, right? Martellus Bennett is gone, right? He's injured, right? So he doesn't even have the majority of his wide receiver core.
He throws his fucking touchdowns to running backs too.
That's the only reason he's getting interceptions right now. It's because his main guys aren't there. But that's the thing, he's still throwing touchdown passes. So that's why I say the Patriots beat the Steelers, right? And then they go to a Super Bowl against the Eagles with Carson Wentz, right? And then we're starting to factor in all those other things, right? The Patriots do have a defense that can cover just wide receivers willy-nilly. They don't have any really great guys, but they have a system. That system is designed to not break.
I'm going to go ahead and burn you right
but
now.
Bend.
Two things. One, here's the problem with covering the Eagles right now. And Nick Foles probably isn't going to fucking...
They're not going to make the championships.
We're not making the Super Bowl game. We'll probably make the NFC Championship. Okay, cool.
Depends on who you play.
Depends on who we
play. The Vikings, you ain't winning.
If we play the Vikings in the NFC Championship game, Vikings will probably beat us because their defense is fucking ridiculous. Right? So here's what I'll say. With Carson Wentz,
We have Alshon Jeffrey. We have Nelson Aguilar, who has come on as a slot receiver. Zach Ertz. And you have Terry out there at the other side. Then you have Holmes, which is a wide receiver we got in the draft. So, Zach Ertz, as far as tight ends in the league right now, one of the best in the league. He's up there with Gronk right now. You can say what the fuck you want.
There's two other tight ends better than him, but he's the third ranked tight end in the league. Period.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who's above him?
Travis Kelce.
No.
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
We're talking about the guy who won the tight end award for being the best tight end in the league this year.
He didn't win it yet.
It's coming. He's going to be the Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Will he?
Yes. And then Gronk, only because he misses games, will not get that spot.
Okay, so Zach.
But those are the two guys I would take above Zach Ertz. But if I had a choice, and I was picking
both of those motherfuckers.
Well, Zach Ertz is you're an Eagles fan too, so you have to factor in that as well.
But yeah, you can factor in that, but at the same time, dog, I'm just telling you, Zach Ertz is a fucking beast. And he doesn't even get majority of the fucking touchdowns. That's the funny part about it.
You got a lot of touchdowns as per my season for fantasy football.
Right? So, like, if I guarantee this. With Carson Wentz in the lineup, Zach Ertz is guaranteed a touchdown. Why? Zach Ertz is Carson Wentz's favorite wide receiver. If you're not doubling Zach Ertz, you're an idiot. That's all I got.
You can't double a tight end if his name's not Gronk.
You can double a tight end if his name.
But they've got so many other weapons, you can't. You cannot. And that's where Bill Belichick falls in line. You're forgetting about Bill. He's not going to let that happen. Right? So that's where I say that if they hit the Super Bowl, they beat the Steelers, but they lose to the Patriots.
We beat the fucking Patriots, man.
I'll say this, though. So,
fuck the Patriots.
Steelers just... what's you call it? Hold on.
Oh, damn, that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy.
What?
We were talking about let's say the top 5 tight ends right now. Let's say the top 5 touchdowns in general. So the most touchdowns would be Jimmy Graham. In second place, there's a 4-way tie. Check this out. Rudolph from Minnesota, Zach Ertz, Kelce, and Gronk. They all have the same amount of touchdowns. Now you have to go to yards, right? Yards. Zach Ertz has 824, and you're right. He would be third ranked if we went to yards.
Mm-hmm.
If we went to receptions, he would be 2.
Now here's where I'm going to get into a little postseason matchup real quick.
Let's go to postseason matchups.
So James Harrison just went to the Patriots, right?
Okay.
He didn't want to be a, quote, cheerleader on the sidelines, right?
Understandable.
I don't really think so, because stick with the team, retire this year, have a legacy. He's still going to be a Steeler when he retires, even though he did this shit.
I don't think he's going to.
And a lot of people are like, oh, well, he's going to take the Steelers playbook and all their secret codes to the Patriots.
Doing that.
Does a guy who's been with the Steelers as long as James Harrison been really looking at the playbook? Is he really the master of codes? Let me tell you this. I'm going to throw something back at you. Now, Bill Belichick's good about changing up plays and making new plays like the day before games and shit like that. Did you know this fact?
What's up?
Did you know that there's a Patriot on the Steelers?
Who?
Stephen Ridley.
Really?
Stephen Ridley is a Steeler.
Stephen Ridley's on the Steelers?
You saw that game where they said the no catch, where the Steelers, quote, should have beaten the Patriots.
Was that Stephen Ridley who caught that?
No.
Okay.
No.
That was a catch, by the way. They showed another angle, and his hand was under the ball.
It was a catch, but
totally
under the no-catch rule, right, I don't disagree with what happened. Because it gives us this.
Oh, it
gives us an
purpose.
edge.
It gives you purpose.
Right, going into the AFC Championship game.
Gives you a chip on your shoulder.
Right?
Right.
And I think the Steelers can beat the Patriots in an AFC Championship game. And if the Steelers line up against the Vikings, Remember what I said about the Steelers getting beat up and only becoming more like better?
I don't know if y'all beat the Vikings, dog.
I think we can.
I don't think so.
I think we can.
I don't.
I think we can.
I don't.
I think we just got enough weapons.
There's only one other defense out there that I think.
Now, if Stephon Diggs was back,
even if Stephon Diggs doesn't come back, Martavius, or what is it? What's his name?
Take the shot.
Who's the running back for the fucking Minnesota right now?
Ooh, those rough skis.
Oh, that was rough. That was rough.
Oh. Ooh. Oh. That tastes no bueno.
No bueno.
Ugh. Poppy watching Godfather. I can hear it.
He is.
Okay.
That's horrible.
So, let's drop this. Let's talk about this, though. Do you have a dark horse team you want to see win it?
Right. Do I have a dark horse team?
Yeah.
Dark horse team.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a team
that you want to see win it.
You're talking about a team that is not one of the top teams.
Yep.
So we're not
Vikings.
So who we're not talking about? We're not talking about the Vikings. We're not talking about the Steelers. We're not talking about the Patriots. We're not talking about the Eagles.
Right.
So the 4 teams that have a bye.
Who do you want to see win it?
Man, that's hard.
I have 2.
I have 2 as well.
Who are your 2?
Atlanta.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll give you.
I like reason. It. I like that. I actually think they have a legit chance.
I'll give you my reason why. 1, Atlanta has a lot to prove right now. They definitely have a chip on their shoulder. Just saying it, blowing a 25-point lead, that does something to your mind, especially when you're in a Super Bowl, right?
They have a legit shot.
They have a hunger.
It's
right
not
now
the team I chose,
beyond,
but I like that pick.
No one. I like Atlanta as a dark horse.
They got a pretty good road.
My other dark horse is going to come from the AFC, and y'all are going to think I'm fucking crazy.
Pick them.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Why? Here's why. Tennessee has not been blown out in any game they have played. Tennessee has literally played themselves into this playoff. A little help from the Jaguars per se, because the Jaguars have fell off. Here's the kicker. Who's Tennessee playing in the first round?
Chiefs.
Playing Chiefs, right? The Chiefs ain't been the same team since week 7. Ain't been the same team since week 7. Do not be surprised if you see Tennessee go into the divisional round and play like the Patriots or the Steelers. Do I think that Tennessee can beat the Steelers or the Patriots? Possibly. Here's also why. Matt mentioned this earlier. Tom Brady's other receivers are being covered. Only thing open are running backs. Tennessee's defense is not terrible.
They got a great run defense.
They have a great run defense. They can.
It's like fucking third in the league or something like that.
Yeah,
it was decent.
They can stop the run. They got a decent pass defense. Yes. Here's what's gonna be. Here's what's gonna be the Tennessee's downfall. Their offense. Marcus Mariota is not your saving grace. All right.
He's serviceable, but he's not a good quarterback.
But he's not a good quarterback. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I do think that's a portion of the system, though.
Yes. If Marcus Mariota can cut down on the turnovers, they can somehow play their way into the Super Bowl. Those are my dark horses.
Here's my dark horses.
Here's your dark horses.
So mine come purely from hope and heart, right? Mm-hmm. Just things I'd like to see happen.
Right.
So.
Oh, honorable. Can I do an honorable mention?
Yeah.
Honorable mention, the Rams.
Which gets me to my NFC pick.
Go ahead.
So against the Falcons, Todd Gurley.
Oh, Todd Gurley's probably going to fucking
runs all over them. They beat them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rams have the right defense, the right kind of youth,
and the right kind of just serviceable offense.
I like their
my
coach.
dude is not bad.
I like their coach.
They're going to be a team of the future.
They are going to be a team in the future. They're going to be.
I like Jeff Fisher trying to come back like, I created that team.
No, you didn't, you bastard.
I set them up for
fucking
success.
almost ended Jared Goff's career. Shut the fuck up.
Right. So
this dude revitalized Jared Goff as a #1 pick.
The Los Angeles Rams, I really like. I don't think they're really going to do anything, but I really like to see them start going, like, just Hulkamania, run wild all over the NFC.
I could see that happen. As a matter of fact,
with no Carson Wentz.
If I could see, hold on, wait a second. Let me. If I was to pick the NFC Championship game right now, depending on who the Eagles play, if the Eagles play Carolina, unfortunately, folks, for the Carolina fans, our defense is going to dominate your offense. It's just going to happen.
They suck.
Just going to say this. It happened in the first game we played you. The only reason you scored 25 points is because they decided to call 10 penalties on us to our 1 penalty that they called on you. Just going to say that. They helped you down the field. Y'all got beat worse than you really did. Unfortunately, our defense is better than yours. Now, with that being said, if we play Atlanta, which we possibly could if they beat the Rams, we can beat Atlanta because they can't get Julio the ball for some fucking reason in the end zone. Sorry,
right, yeah.
In the end zone. So we'll beat Atlanta, but just because of our pass rush and their offense.
Can I finish my dark horses?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So I just think that's one of those teams that I would really like to see do it. Like I said, all my picks,
I wouldn't mind seeing
my dark horse picks come simply from heart, right? Just simply from hope and heart, right? Of just wanting to see something different, right? Like, I want to see the Rams go to the Super Bowl, right? With a team of just people who were like writing them off from the start.
Oh, for sure.
Right? My AFC pick is going to make you mad as fuck.
Why?
I believe I can fly. Could you imagine
the Bills?
A world.
The
Hold on. Okay, I knew you were gonna laugh. No, I can't stop. I have to finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead and finish.
Right?
Go ahead and finish.
So
I don't dislike this though. I don't.
Shady McCoy comes back.
Not just Shady McCoy. Who's their quarterback?
Tyrod Taylor. Right.
Tyrod Taylor is a Virginia Tech quarterback. If Tyrod Taylor went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, oh my god!
I just want to see.
That'd be sick.
The Bills
win the Super Bowl
and the Bills Mafia get a Super Bowl. I just want I want it so bad for because I fucking hate New York. I fucking hate New York so bad.
But I would love
for the Bills to get a championship.
They would get Bubba Ray Dudley out there just to be Bills fans. Get the
tables.
There would be so many Bills fans going through tables. It would be fucking hilarious. You know what? I like that. No. Like I like that.
So let me legitimize it real quick.
I like that pick.
Jags have lost their last 3.
That's what I'm saying.
They beat the Jags.
Right.
They luck out against the Steelers.
Right.
They line up against the Pats. Right.
That's in their division.
And by hook or crook, some magic happens.
Some magic happens. They win the game.
And they win by 3. By field goal.
Tyrod Taylor.
And then my Super Bowl is the Bills versus the Rams. And this young Rams team just shits all over themselves.
Oh, really?
All over themselves.
And the Bills win?
And the Bills pull out a fucking miserable Super Bowl. It's 9-6. Right?
What, they win?
And the Bills win a Super Bowl. I would lose my shit.
That would be so fucking hilarious.
I would go out and buy a Tyrod Taylor jersey.
I think I have one to order just because I love Tyrod Taylor. And fucking Tyrod Taylor's a stand-up dude. I mean, like, he didn't give shit to the coaches when he got benched. He didn't do anything. He just came out there and played football.
Because of the quarterback they put in charge got 4 interceptions in like the first fucking
Sean McDermott, you an idiot.
So, to close out the show, I'm gonna give you 1.
What's up?
All right, this is a fantasy game.
Okay.
You know how in like old Madden games you used to get like the fucking championship teams to play against championship teams, like, you know, Super Bowl fucking Steelers from the Terry Howard days,
versus like fucking the John Madden Raiders, like shit like that. You got to pick a winner.
Okay.
All right. The 2008 Lions.
Oh, I knew you were gonna come out
versus
with this.
The 2017
Oh man,
Browns.
I was thinking about that too. I should have fucking brought this up. All right, look.
Who wins
I've
that
been
game?
thinking about this. Here's the thing, and you know what? What's really funny? Me and Fred were talking about this in the hub. Both defenses are trash, right?
Trash.
But there's one wide receiver that played on that Lions team that I guarantee the Browns don't have a corner or a safety that can double cover this man. Megatron would make the difference. End of quote. I'm done.
Here's my thing.
Megatron makes the difference. Now, if Isaiah Crowell gets off, because if a lot of people don't know,
I take the 2017 Browns.
You take the 2017 Browns?
They've had a lot of close games.
They've had a lot of close games. They should beat the Steelers.
Who was the quarterback during the 2008 Lions?
Matthew Stafford.
Hold on.
Matthew Stafford was.
I don't think he was.
Was it not Matthew Stafford? It was Matthew Stafford. Could have sworn it was Matthew Stafford.
It was under Rod Marinelli.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up now.
It was Matthew Stafford.
No, it wasn't.
Who was it?
Dante Culpepper.
Was it really Dante Culpepper? Who was was it Megatron on that team?
Drew Henson, Dan Orlovsky, and Dan Stanton. The running backs were Avion Casson, Jerome Felton, Rudy Johnson, and Moran Norris. The wide receivers were Kiri Colbert, Chris Hannon, Adam Jennings, Calvin Johnson, John Stadford, and Travis Taylor. And the tight ends were Casey Fitzsimmons, Michael Gaines, and John Owens. I take the 2017 Browns.
Now that I know that, because I always thought that Matthew Stafford came out by
That's a long time ago, dude.
That is a long time ago, man.
More than 10 years ago.
That's my fault. All right, I'm gonna take that pick back.
I think the 2017 Browns can beat the 2008 Lions.
Beat them because the 2008 Lions could not stop the run for a goddamn shit. Isaiah Crowell will have a fucking game. And Isaiah Crowell, if you didn't have him in your fantasy team, my man had some games even though they were trash. He scored touchdowns. He scored a lot of them.
So this has been an episode of Fat Entitled Bastards. We bid you adieu.